Hello and welcome to Weekly Wisdom. My name is Mark Van Buren, and this week I'd like to talk about how we go from contact with the external world to suffering. So this process is from a teaching in Buddhism called the 12 links of existence. And I'm not going to go into the whole of the 12 links, but just the ones that are important for our practice. It starts obviously with our 6 senses. From a Buddhist point of view, we have 6 senses, which is the 5 senses, obviously sight, sound, taste, smell, and touch, but also the 6th sense of thinking and just the mind stuff. So basically what happens from the 6 senses is we have contact. So that's one of the links, contact with the external world. From contact comes feeling. So we have a contact with a sound, and that sound produces a feeling within us. It can be in one of 3 flavors: pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Generally, we really like to chase after the pleasant. We try to avoid the unpleasant, and we don't even pay attention to the neutral. So from contact, we have feeling or feeling tone. Still no problems with that. Even if it's an unpleasant feeling tone, there's no problems there, there's no suffering there. From feeling, though, comes desire. And that can be for or against, attachment or aversion. So if you hear a beautiful sound and it feels good, then you want more of that. You want to feel good more. You want to hear more of that sound. So that would be attachment. If you see something that disgusts you, or eat something that made you sick one time, as soon as you see that, you're going to have an unpleasant feeling, and then the aversion is going to arise, and that's going to say, I don't want this. We need to get away from this. This is no good. Still no problem here. This is just mind reacting based on past experiences and things like that. And then we move on to the next link, which would be grasping. So here's where the issue comes in, the grasping. We grab hold of the attachment, we grab hold of the aversion, we limit our expansive mind to one thing, and we believe it, and then we act and we speak from it, and we let it kind of run our lives. And basically we become a prisoner of attachment and aversion, and our lives shrink to just me and mine and I, and what I like, what I don't like, what scares me and what doesn't scare me, and this is where all the suffering comes in. So our practice, even though I broke it down into those few links, it happens like that. It happens so fast that unless you're a meditation master, you're not going to see that whole process. Where you're going to start being able to pay attention is when you're already lost in possibly grasping, but your mind's already reacted to the stimulus. And our practice is to kind of come back to the feeling tone. So we're going to come back to whether it's pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, and we're going to learn to abide and just kind of relax into the feeling tone of whatever it is. Give an example. Let's say that you have an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend that you see. So the first contact is just sight, and the contact is just shape and form and colors. There's no associations yet. And once you see that person, there's the unpleasant. Maybe they cheated on you or they hurt you pretty bad. So immediately all these associations and storylines start to come in, and there's a feeling tone of unpleasant. And then the mind starts spitting out stuff. Oh, there's that person, he's such a this, or I don't like this person, blah, 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 she's such a that. So what you have to do in those moments is first realize that you're stuck. And instead of just immediately picking it up and saying something or getting all frustrated about it or flustered, just come back to the feeling tone. Realize that you're caught and come back to that discomfort. Where do you feel that difficulty? Is it a tightness in the chest? Is it, squeezing in the stomach? Is it somewhere in the head? Where do you feel it? Come back to that. And what we're doing is actually training our nervous system to be able to rest with the feeling tone of situations so that we're not limited to our conditioned responses. And that's, again, that comes with the mind and the attachment, the aversion, the grasping. And by allowing our thoughts to come and go and resting with the feeling tone, we're not grasping, we're not identifying, we're not becoming this angry person, we're not becoming this thought of malice or hatred rather. So we're ultimately freeing ourselves and learning to act spontaneously, and also learning to respond appropriately rather than just those conditioned reactions. So this week, try to notice when you're hooked, when you're triggered, and see if instead of just acting or speaking from it and identifying with it and grasping at it, see if you can come from this space of observing and try to rest with the underlying feeling tone and get your nervous system used to unpleasant feelings, and learn to not have to just immediately escape it and try to make yourself feel better right away. Because if you can learn to welcome pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral equally, you'll have an evenness of mind, and you won't be limited by attachment and aversion. And thank you all for watching today. Have a wonderful week. Namaste.